So what do we think about marijuana? I did my project on medical marijuana. I don't really smoke it, but I think people should kind of have a right to. Just saying. What do you guys feel?
No comment.
Does anybody have any? Nothing will be held against you.
They should legalize it.
Yeah, okay. So is anyone that's opposed or anyone that agrees?
Turn your camera
Little
on.
supporter.
So that's what I did my project on, medical marijuana. The history of medical marijuana, herbal therapy. Marijuana has been used for medical purposes for centuries. As early as 2737 BC, the Emperor Shen Nang of China was prescribing marijuana tea for the treatment of gout, rheumatism, malaria, strangely enough, poor memory. In the 18th century, early editions of American medical journals recommend hemp seeds and roots for the treatment of inflamed skin, incontinence, and venereal diseases. That's an important one. But then the opinions started to change. People started to form a negative opinion about marijuana. The major change in American attitudes towards marijuana came at the end of the 19th century, when between 2 and 5% of the US population was unknowingly addicted to morphine, a popular secret ingredient in everyday medicine. The government introduced the Pure Drug and Food Act, the Pure Food and Drug Act in 1906, creating the Food and Drug Administration. While it didn't apply to marijuana, and merely brought the distribution of opium and morphine under doctors' control, the regulation of chemical substances was a major shift in American drug policy. In 1914, the drug use was defined as a crime under the Harrison Act. By 1937, 23 states had outlawed marijuana, some to stop former morphine addicts from taking up a new drug, and some as a backlash against newly arrived Mexican immigrants, some of whom brought the drug with them. Also in 1937, the federal government passed the Marijuana Tax Act, which made non-medical use of marijuana illegal. Side note, over 500,000 people are jailed per year for use or possession of marijuana. Is marijuana good or bad for you? In 1854, the United States dispensatory listed many uses of marijuana extracts, recommending marijuana preparations for cases of gout, tetanus, hydrophobia, cholera, convulsions, hysteria, depression, insanity, and uterine hemorrhage, and also for promoting relaxed contractions during delivery. Between 1840 and 1890, at least 100 medical papers were published on the use of marijuana for the treatment of loss of appetite, insomnia, migraine, headache, pain, involuntary twitching, excessive coughing, and withdrawal in case of opiates or alcohol addiction. In 1893, after exhaustive study of marijuana use in South Asian colony, the British government released the largest single study of marijuana use to date in the Indian Hemp Drugs Commission report. Years of research produced the official determination that the use of marijuana drugs was not harmful for the Indians, and that it would be an error to attempt to separate that culture from the holy drug known to the West as cannabis indica. In 1994, medical marijuana was legalized in California and Arizona. Yay. Because of the medical marijuana initiatives approved in these two states, President Clinton allocated $1 million to review the existing research. As a result, in 1999, the most respected medical body in the United States, the Institute of Medicine, published Marijuana and Medicine, assessing the science base, in which the authors reported the accumulated scientific data indicate a potential therapeutic value for cannabinoid drugs, particularly for pain relief, control of nausea and vomiting, and appetite stimulation. A center at UC San Diego that opened in 2000 has nearly spent its $8.7 million allocation sponsoring 14 studies at UC campuses, including the first clinical trials of smoked marijuana in the United States in more than 2 decades. I think that clearly cannabis has benefits, says Dr. Donald Abrams, a San Francisco oncologist who led that study. This substance has been a medicine for 2,700 years. It only hasn't been for 70 years.